All right, guys, so I want to go over something that I chart out every pre-market before the market opens, okay? I'm going to try to do these videos in steps, um, and this would be the first step that I take. So when I wake up, get down to my desk, this is how I'm charting before the market open to give me a bias in direction, okay? It's something called the Fab Four. Okay, Fabulous Four, Fab Four for short. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the last 45 minutes of price on the previous day. So right here we can see the open is November 17th, which is this green candle. This candle here is November 14th. That'll be Friday. Okay, so you go to the previous day of trading. Okay, so you go to the previous day and you mark off the last 45 minutes of price action. Okay, so this candle here is the start of the last 45 minutes of the market on Friday. Okay, so you just find the candle that starts the last 45 minutes. So the 2:15 candle, or I'm sorry, the 3:15 candle, and then last 45 minutes till 4 p.m. market closes. Okay, so you find that candle, which is this one, and what you're going to do is you're going to want to highlight the lowest point of price within that last 45 minutes, the highest point of price within that last 45 minutes, both the 20 and the 200 SMA. Okay? And then where price closed. That's four things. The SMAs, there's two SMAs, but they're together. So it's the low of price, the high of price, the SMAs, and where price closed. It's those four. It's called the Fab Four. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to mark those things. I'm going to show you what it looks like, okay? This is the lowest point of price on Friday. We're going to mark that here, lowest point. Then we're going to find the highest point of price on Friday, okay? Within the last 45 minutes. That'll be this 45-minute candle here, the first candle. That's the highest point. Price declined after that, right? But we have to include the SMAs, right? So we have to drag this up because we have to include this 200 and we have to include this 20 within the box, within this Fab 4, right? Now all we have to do is find where price closed. I'm going to move this over a little bit so we can see a little better. About right here is where price closed. Somewhere around that little red line there. That's where price closed on Friday. Okay. Once you have this marked on your chart, now all we need to do is wait to see where price opens. Okay? If it opens above this Fab 4, our bias is long. If it opens below this Fab 4, our bias is short. Okay? Now let's do this. Let's put this over here, just like we would in pre-market. We wouldn't see any of that right there. That's all we would see. Okay? This is the Fab 4 is getting your direction. That's all this is. Do not enter short if price opens below the Fab 4. That's not how this works. You have to get the direction by where price opens in correlation to the Fab 4. But once price opens in whatever direction, up or down, now your bias is short or long, you still have to wait on an entry event signal in that direction confirming the bias to the downside. Okay, I'm going to dive into that in another video. I just want to show you guys what you should be doing prior to market open. This takes 10 minutes maybe to mark out the Fab 4. You mark this out, you wait for price to open. Once it does, it gives you a direction. See, here we're opening lower than the Fab 4. My direction is short already, but the candle is green. So I wouldn't just enter blindly. I would wait on an entry event signal and then enter to the downside. Okay, so this is very, very key in my direction every day whenever I'm taking trades. Okay, I'm gonna dive into some more stuff later on as far as my strategy. This is just the very first thing you should do. You should have the 20 SMA and the 200 SMA on your chart. That is it. Nothing else if you're following my strategy. Once that happens, this Fab 4 needs to be identified. The last 45 minutes of price needs to be identified. Now, we can do the same thing anywhere. The last 45 minutes of price needs to be identified. This is your Fab 4. Okay? If price opens below the Fab 4, the direction is short until we get a reclaim of the Fab 4. Until we get a reclaim above this Fab 4 here, our direction is short. This is just to get a direction. That's all I'm showing today. I'm not diving into the strategy. I'm not diving into a bunch of stuff. I'm keeping it very, very simple, very, very sweet. You can do this over and over again. You find the previous close. Right here is, what's this? This is November 13th. This is the 12th, so you find the last 45 minutes. Right here, the highest point, which will be right there, the lowest point, which would be right at the bottom of that green one, but we have to include the SMAs, so you have to pull it up here, and then where price closed is here, right at that green candle, right there. If price opens below this, what are we? We're short. If price opens above this, what are we? We're long. Okay, this doesn't mean enter blindly. This is just giving you a direction. Okay? Very simple, very key to my strategy and how I find direction every single day in the market. Once that happens, I enter in the direction only when price gives me an entry event. Okay, and I'm gonna make an entry event video soon, but this is the first thing you need to do. Before you even know what entry events are, you have to have the Fab 4 marked on your chart. Okay. All right, I'm gonna keep it pretty short today. I think it's like less than 10 minutes this video, but I'll upload this so you guys can see. But very key, very simple. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, guys. We'll see you next time. Thanks.